Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some FTB Infinity for episode 25, and today we are going to build our very own dimension for our quarry. We're going to build one from the ground up. We're not going to put it in the nether, we're not going to put it in the end, we're not even going to use Mistcraft, which I know a bunch of people were thinking we were going to do. No, we're going to use a brand new mod that I have only recently seen in FTB Infinity. That mod is RFTools. So this is a pretty cool new mod. It does a bunch of cool stuff, but the main feature that we're going to be using today is its ability to build dimensions that you can then run if you continue to keep them powered. So unlike with Mistcraft, you do have to continually provide the dimension with redstone flux to keep it going, but it's still pretty awesome, and I want to try it anyway. So to start with, we're going to need a couple of machines to get our new dimension up and running. Now, the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is all of these squares that we have in NEI here, and these are called dimlets. And basically, what dimlets are, if you're familiar with Mistcraft, they're kind of like the pages. They determine what your biome, what your new dimension is going to be like. For instance, the biome beach forest dimlet will give your new dimension the biome that is beach forest. So you will have the beach forest biome all over your new dimension. And there are some really cool ones. If we go around, we can see the Sacred Springs, there is lush rivers. If we go even further on, we have stuff like mine shafts, we have blue fog, there's even stuff, some stuff like diamond blocks and iron blocks, and even some potion effects like weakness. And as you can see here, weakness 3 decreases the amount of redstone flux that your dimension requires, because obviously it's a negative effect. But if you wanted something like haste, it would increase the amount of redstone flux per tick that your dimension required. But while you were in there, you would constantly have haste, which, if you ask me, is kind of cool. So the way that we need to start off with this is we need to get ourselves what is known as a dimlet researcher. Now, the dimlet researcher is used for, it's very useful, and I'll show you why in just a second. But if we get this guy over, where is it? Dimlet, let's have a look and just type it. This guy, the dimlet researcher, this thing is made using two redstone comparators, which should be fairly easy if we have redstone torches, which again should be fairly easy. We'll take 6 of those and do something a little bit like this. 1, 2, thank you very much. And then we also need a redstone a machine frame, sorry. This is used for all of the machines in RFTools, and then we can go ahead and do something like this and get ourselves a dimlet researcher. Now, you'll notice that it did require an unknown dimlet, and that is exactly why we have gone ahead and made the dimlet researcher, because what this does is it allows us to uncover what these dimlets actually are. Now, the way that you get these dimlets is they're found in chests, they're found in dungeons. I'm assuming we got this one from our quarry at some point, because I came on and found 5 in here. I didn't know we had any. But the way that you get all of these dimlets, if we go back to RFTools here, RFTools, all of these, it's all one word, tools, all of these dimlets are actually found. You can't make them. If we click in NEI, you cannot make these. There's no recipe. You have to find these unknown dimlets and then use a dimlet researcher to turn them into random dimlets. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to set some stuff up like over here, and for the time being, what we'll do is we'll just dig a hole in the floor and stick down some more redstone flux ducts, because some of these machines do require a heck of a lot of power. And as you'll see, I did go ahead and make another 10 of these geothermal generators and 8 electric engines and fill them all up. I basically did the same thing we did last episode, but again, between episodes. And you'll notice this thing can hold 32,000 redstone flux. And if we were to go ahead and throw in an unknown dimlet, it will turn it into a known dimlet. So we got the biome forest, frozen river biome, which is probably not one we're going to use. The dead forest biome, which we might use. The redwood forest biome, which we also might use, and the fluid.red plasma dimlet, which I have no idea what red plasma is, but we might use that. You'll see this one is fairly expensive. It costs 500 redstone flux per tick to create, and then 300 redstone flux per tick to maintain. Now, the first biome, the first dimension, I'm going to keep calling it biomes, I do apologize. The first dimension that we're going to make, I'm going to make it a completely random dimension, because although you can use these dimlets to specify what you want your dimension to be like, you can also just create a completely random dimension and see what happens. And that's what I'm going to do to start with, because hopefully we get a really nice dimension that allows us to mine and use our quarry and everything will be wonderful, although I have a slight feeling that that's not going to happen. So the next machine that we're going to need is the dimension inscriber, and that's this guy over here. Fairly easy stuff, just some ink, another machine frame, and some paper. And then the next one is the dimension builder. This thing is a bit expensive. Again, another machine frame we are going to need. And then it does require, of course, emeralds, diamonds, and the odd ender pearl. So, kind of late game, you do have to have a fair bit of stuff. And no, we're missing diamonds. Really? Really? We don't have the diamonds? What did we spend them all on? No! Ah, I thought we had them. I thought we had enough diamonds to complete this. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Okay, guys, I guess I'm going to go ahead and try and find some diamonds, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I guess this is as good a time as any to show off how to make diamonds using BiblioCraft. So if we were to go ahead and click on diamonds in NEI and just go across a couple of pages, you'll see this recipe here. If we compress up a coal chunk, we get a diamond. And a coal chunk is made using 8 compressed coal balls and an obsidian, and coal balls are made by compressing coal balls. No, wait, what? Compressed coal balls are made by compressing coal balls, which are made using pulverized coal and flint. So this thing basically turns 1 stack of coal and 8 flint into a diamond. So what I've gone ahead and done is pulverized a bunch of coal. So if we go ahead and grab some flint and do something like this, take you, surround it with some coal dust, we get ourselves these coal balls, which we can go ahead and compress in this compressor, which for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and place right about here, and hopefully that will get some power. It did. We'll go ahead and throw those in there like that. That's going to go ahead and compress all of those up. We should be able to throw some overclockers in there, and it should work just fine. And basically what I'm going to do is try and complete this recipe and get ourselves a diamond, at which point we should be able to go ahead and make ourselves the dimensional builder. So, I'm going to go do that, guys. And I'll be back in a second. So, once we've got 8 of these coal balls, we can go ahead and craft them up with an obsidian, like so. And then go ahead and compress up this coal chunk, and we will get ourselves a, well, I was going to say a free diamond. We'll get ourselves a diamond. They're not really free. It did require a stack of coal and 8 flint, but it's a lot better than trying to go mine one, because that could take us quite a long time, and this thing is much quicker. So, while that's doing that, we can go ahead and jump back to the dimensional builder. This guy over here. And once we get ourselves that second diamond, thank you very much, we should be good to go. And I'm hoping that's the last diamond we need, although I haven't quite checked the recipe, so it might not be. We might have to do that a few more times, but that gets us a dimensional builder, which does also require some power. So we'll go ahead and throw you down right about here. Actually, I'm going to throw it down right about here, because I'm going to put a machine here in a second. So boom, boom, and you can go there like that. Okay, so once we've got that down, we can go ahead and throw down the dimensional inscriber next to it, and then all we need now to get a dimension up and running is this little guy over here, which I happen to not know the name of, so we'll just go ahead and flick through NEI. This guy, the empty dimension tab. This thing is really easy to make. It's just some paper and some redstone, which is a lot easier if you happen to have paper, which, as it turns out, we don't. So I'm going to go ahead and make some paper real quick using our buckets of water and wood method, and I'll be back in a second. And once you have paper, you can go ahead and actually make the recipe, at which point we should be good to go and make our own dimension, and we're so close. Come on now. Come on now, we were so close. Okay, one more set of paper, there we go. Now we have enough paper to make the empty dimension tab. So, if we were to go put this in the dimension inscriber, this guy over here, all of these slots up here are where we can put our dimlets. So, for instance, if I were to specify the frozen river dimlet, I would put that in there and click store. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just call this the test dimension, apparently with a capital E there, and then we're going to click store. And it's going to make a random dimension. If we go ahead and sort of shift right click on this, we can see we should be able to see what's inside of it, but it's not telling us. So I have no idea. So I guess instead, what we can do is we can stick it in this guy here, the dimension builder, like so, at which point it's going to start draining power and filling up. So it's taking all of the redstone flux to build it, and then it has to fill up with redstone flux once it's built before we can actually use it, and you'll see that kind of in a second. There you go. Current power, once that gets to 40 million redstone flux, we should be able to actually go ahead and use this thing. Now, that could be a while, and this thing might get drained in the process. Actually, it looks like it's definitely going to get drained, but we can go ahead and wait for that to finish up. Whilst that's doing that, there are a few more things that we are going to need in order to get there and back, and those are a dialing device and a matter transmitter / receiver. Of course, those are being 2 different machines. So, the dialing device is this guy over here. Again, fairly easy to make if you happen to have some redstone torches lying around, which we do. And boom, we'll take one of those. If you happen to have some of the machine frames and some golden nuggets, again, still a great cereal, we'll throw you in there and do something like this. Boom, 1, 2, 3, because we are going to need one for the receiver and the transmitter. That gets us a dialing device, and then, of course, we need the matter transmitter slash receiver. So matter, both of these two here, one of them requiring ender pearls, and the other one requiring iron. It's the same thing, just in reverse, apparently. Okay, didn't know that was the recipe, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and throw those down here. And basically, these are actually really cool. So you don't have to use these for making your new dimension, but we are going to use them for that. You can just use these to teleport around. And I'll show you kind of how we can do that here. I'm going to put these down like so for now. We are going to move these at some point, don't worry, guys. But if I want to put down, say, this in my greenhouse, for instance, with Botania, and this down at my base, what I could do is I could name this main base. And I could name this, say, for instance, Botania. Like that. And then if we go to the dialing device, we can click main base and Botania and then dial. And that's going to, you'll see with here with the green line, that's going to connect those two up. And if I was to stand on this one, it'll say start teleport, and it moved me to the yellow one. So I could put this anywhere in the world and kind of just use it as a teleportation device. That's kind of cool, but that's not what we're going to use it for. What we're going to use it for is going from the main base to the test world. So if we click dial, this should... Okay, sorry about that. We had a little bit of world lag there, but basically, what we're going to use this for is to take us from the overworld here to our new dimension. So we're going to go from the main base to the test world, but before we go, we need a way to get back. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take with us another dialing machine and another transceiver, as well as a source of power. So we'll take one of those, if we happen to be able to make a few more of these, and get ourselves some more ender pearls. Thank you. And basically what we're going to do is once we get over into our dimension, if we want to get back, which we are going to want to do at some point, we're going to just set it up so that it takes us from this matter transceiver, which is of course going to be in the new dimension, back to the one that we've now called Botania, which we'll eventually probably rename to be home. So we just need another dialing device, which is this guy over here. And again, a little bit more redstone torches and another machine frame. Boom. Gets us a dialing device. Nice. So we're going to take both those with us, and we're also going to go ahead and grab this guy so that we can power the thing once we get there. Thank you very much. And then we should be good to go. We'll go and see how well our dimension is doing on redstone flux. It's doing okay. It's on just shy of 30 million. I think we might be able to go. Let's give it a try. Okay. Not really the dimension I was hoping for. On the bright side, we got an aura node here, which I guess is kind of nice. What does this thing contain? A bunch of order, but not really what I was going for. So this thing is kind of useless. It's full of endstone, for one, which I'm assuming goes all the way down, although I have no way really to tell. Although I guess it's free endstone, maybe. Which is kind of nice. Yeah, I think I've seen worlds like this. This thing probably doesn't contain any ores of any kind, so this thing's kind of useless in terms of getting ores for our mining laser. Sorry, our quarry there. But what we can do instead is we can just go ahead and go back if we really want to. We'll throw you down like that. Make sure that's set to output on the front. And we'll put you down right about there, so that's going to go ahead and grab some power as well. We'll just set all of these to output. That should go ahead and grab some power. And basically, this one is, we'll put new dimension. And we'll just say we want to go from new dimension to Botania, dial. And then if we stand on here, it should take us back to our base. There we go. Look at that. It worked. So that's how the dimension system works with this mod. However, as you can see, that wasn't really the best dimension in the world. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and craft up another one of those things that require paper. Then again, the dimension tabs. I'm going to go ahead and craft up another dimension tab real quick. But this time we're going to go ahead and we're going to put one of our own dimlets in it and see what we get. So let's do, I'll just type in tab and see if that works. It did not. We'll type in dimension tab. That one did work. We'll go ahead and make another one of those. And this time we'll put one of the dimlets that we have inside of it and see what happens. So we'll throw you there. And then we've got liquid plasma, frozen river, dead forest, and redwood forest. I'm going to put redwood forest in because I kind of want a normal looking world. I want one that kind of looks like the overworld but has the ores beneath it. So we'll go ahead and take you out, put you in. Again, that's going to build up. This time, we're going to want to go from the main base to whatever this one's called. It's called ID3. So we're going to go to ID3 from the main base to ID3. Dial. So that should take us to ID3 this time. It looks like we're going to have to make another dialing machine. And, ooh, our power's out. That's not good. And I know why. I know why our power's out. I know exactly why our power's out. That is not a good thing. Ooh, that's not good. I guess we're going to have to move this for the second. We'll take you, and if we put you back over here until we can get ourselves another Ender IO conduit. I don't think these connect directly to Ender IO conduits. I'm actually fairly certain of that. That should kick our system back into function. Good stuff. Do we have any power conduits left? We do. So let's just go ahead and, for the time being, do something like this. Just to keep our... Oh, they do connect. Would you look at that? I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea that they would connect. That's kind of cool, actually. I really like that. But let's throw you back down right there. Boom. And then all we have to do, like I said, we're probably going to have to make ourselves another dialer and another receiver. But that's fine. We did go ahead and actually make another receiver by accident. So once we got both of these and we are ready to go back, we should... just be able to go. That thing's building up power again. We are going from the main base to ID3. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Hopefully it's good. And not too laggy. And not gonna kill us. Maybe. Okay. So, again, not really the world I was looking for. I'm going to go ahead and just throw these down real quick. And I have made a very huge, vital mistake here, which is not very good. But we got an overworld of nether quartz, apparently. Oh, what's that? We'll go check that out in a second, actually. We've got a bunch of nether quartz. So, I guess if we ever need nether quartz ever... we could just come to here. We might actually, I might set up the quarry in here just to grab ourselves like an unnecessary amount of nether quartz for the future, so that we never, ever, ever have to come back again. That would be probably kind of a good idea, so we don't have to come back. Actually, let's go see if what this is real quick. Hopefully, it's something really awesome. Maybe it will contain some more dimlets. That would be very nice indeed. Okay, we're gonna die. This world does have some fairly negative repercussions. We have hunger and poison and mining fatigue and slowness, and we died. In a collapsing world? Oh, okay. So, I think the reason that we died there was we didn't have enough power for the dimension. If we were to go ahead and have a look... yeah, we don't have enough redstone flux to power this dimension. We are not providing this thing with enough redstone flux. So what you just saw was the dimension collapsing. It doesn't actually just disappear. You don't just die and lose everything in the world. Well, actually, you kind of do. Basically, what happens is it goes really dark, and then you will start to get some negative effects, which you just saw. So, all of our stuff is in that dimension. It's in dimension ID3. So, what we're probably going to have to do, and what I'll probably do between episodes, is, and it was probably actually a good thing, because we didn't take an energy cell with us, which means we couldn't get back even if we wanted to. So, what I'll probably do between episodes is try and fill this dimension up with some power to the point where we might get enough power to get back and get our stuff, hopefully, maybe possibly. And I'll also try and make another dimension that's going to be suitable for the quarry. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. This is how you set up a new dimension using redstone flux tools. I am going to move all of these machines into much nicer places as well between now and next episode. But again, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like. It helps out a ton. And I will see you guys next time.